Okay, so let's pick up where we left off. Okay, so we really gonna do this? What, are you scared? See, again, question of how stations, are set up geopolitically in this universe. In what was it? Like Star Trek, stations were either extensions of the local government or extensions of the greater government, depending on what we're talking about. So, like a Cardassian station was under the authority of the Cardassian Order. A Federation station was under the authority of the Federation. There may be individual examples where a particular station was a special case, like in Wrath of Khan, where Regula 3 was a Federation station, but it was under the authority of the Federation Science Council. So its rules were a little bit different. But by comparison, like say in Firefly, stations were more or less treated as if they were kind of their own nation state. Like with Nishka's station. He pretty much had carte blanche to do whatever he wanted on his station. There we go. So, again, like here, okay, breaking into the archive of the station, Jack's not crazy about that idea. Is he not crazy about the idea because it's stupidly risky? Is he not crazy about it because it's going to be stupidly tedious? Is he not crazy about the idea because even if they succeed, they're going to be making an enemy of someone very powerful? Is he not crazy about it because, it could get him a life jail sentence? I mean, the stakes are big, but how, what scale is that stake being measured on? Don't really know at this point. Okay, so again, it's a big risk. How big are we talking? If, let's say the security force puts out an arrest warrant for them, is that warrant good everywhere? Will it be ignored by some people but not by others? Will it be invalid once they leave the station? Is it a formality where it's like, oh, well, the security force on this level will get you, but the security force on this level doesn't give a crap? See, again, before it lands us in trouble we can't really get out of. Okay. With a particular syndicate, with a particular corporation, with all the syndicates, with an alliance of syndicates? See, if this were Isoban, I'd say hacking, but I'm gonna go with stealth. Excuse me while I have some dinner. this supposed to be a joke? Like just a gag, or that's supposed to mean something? Like, did he suddenly become Spider-Man? See, like, I will also say the design of the guard here is identical to the design of the guard used with Rockety, except for the color. And I understand cost saving. You know, it's fairly inexpensive to do a color change. But if all the syndicates are more or less at each other's throats, I think it would work a little bit better to have different styles of soldiers for different syndicates. You know, 2 cents. Was. Alright, now, something I will point out, I'm not saying this is a problem, but just at this point, you're starting to use a, a carrot to lead the player along in terms of finding out the mystery about Orin's past, which is fine. The risk here is making sure you don't drag it out too long. And I think the best way to do that is, you've asked a question, okay, what was Orin doing when he was Nali, whatever, however you want to pronounce it. You might want to include pronunciation for that. And that was, he, bought some storage units. Okay, cool. What was he storing at? Medical supplies. Okay, they were there for 6 months, and then they were shipped to Ingram Station. Okay. So, asking a question, provide an answer that leads to another question, that leads to another answer. That's fine. The catch is, you don't want to drag it out too long. Now, at this point, you haven't. But I do want to say, it's what I recognize that, we're moving forward. So just heads up, if I come back and say, okay, this is kind of dragging on too long, I feel like I'm just being led around by the nose at this point. That is the context of that. Oh, and we're getting Dweeby Carter back. Okay. Wait, what? Okay. When I initially read this line, it sounded like he said, "Quit fooling, I friend." And my immediate thought was the Klaxi. Yeah. $5 says that's gonna come back and bite Carter on the ass. Of course. Yep, saw that coming. I'm really glad he didn't become a main character.